There we go. All right. So I'm making rings for this Ringception jelly cube I'm working on. It's pretty cool so far. I like the way it's coming along. I've got 13 rings done, which means I only have 82 rings to go. If you don't know what a jelly cube is, this is a jelly cube. It's very jelly. I'm adding rings to this one too. I've got a whole bag to add. But for right now, I've ordered the rings to finish this. It's a good thing I did. Unfortunately, the rings that I ordered to finish this are spring steel. Spring steel is one of those materials that separates the boys from the men. So I'm not looking forward to it. But the spring steel 16 gauge 3/8 from the Ring Lord was not only in stock, but it also had the correct inner diameter measurement. So I'm like, my hands hurt just thinking about it. It's gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. Get ourselves a pile of rings here. How's everybody doing tonight? No, this should be fine. I spent the day making these rings, basically. Now I'm just going to chill and make some more and talk about chainmail and ask you guys how you're doing and where you're from and how your day's going. Can you all hear the music and can you hear me okay? That's always a fun one whenever we have sound issues. I've been doing this for a few years now, and every now and then sound goes completely haywire. It's fun. All right. So my name is Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I'll give you an example. This is a test product of one of our puppy hoodies. Right, it's got a little spot for the leash there. All right, these aren't available yet, but I have a bunch of other stuff with chainmail printed on it, not just European foreign one. Right, we got a couple different chainmail weaves, and then also different designs, like inlay designs. Bunch of those. Pricey, you bet. For the rings to finish this, it was $230, including shipping. And that's pretty cheap, all things considered. So it's not terrible. What am I doing here? I need one more ring? What is going on? Yeah, I do. It's like I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I have on hand roughly 4,000 rings or so, and I ordered a little over 12,000 rings to finish this. Each of these individual rings I made is 176 rings, and I need 95 of them to make a 3x3 layer cube. And so I needed another 12,000 some odd number of rings. So figure if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And there will come a point when I'm making my own rings, right? Large sculptures like this get pricey, and especially in the materials that I want to use. So in the future, I'll be making my own rings, and thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. I'll be making my own rings to heavily cut down on cost. But that is not now, and for right now, I'm ordering all my stuff. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And we'll get to the point where we're making our own rings and doing a whole lot of other stuff. Bob, there you go. There's your buddy Bob. Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming. Working on it. I am making a Ringception piece. So this is a jelly cube, right? And I'm making another one while I make all the rings out of rings. So a big Ringception piece. And Ringception is when you take your rings to make weaves and then turn those weaves into rings, and then you weave those woven rings together, and it's very meta. Meta. So essentially, I'm making one ring, and then I'll add it to this. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I just hope it like isn't too loose and is flexible, right? I don't expect it to be too jelly because it's only a 3x3, a 3x3x3 layer cube, or 3x3x3 row cube. So I don't expect a lot of jelliness out of it. But, you know, if it holds its shape a little bit and I can put it on display and turn the rings that I have and the ones that I ordered for it into something cool, then I'll be happy. How heavy is it right now? That is a good question. I can weigh it. Let's see here. Ah, no, all my stuff is falling. All my hander bands. And a cord. Right now it's 2 pounds, 15.4 ounces. So almost 3 pounds as of right now. So by the time I add the next ring, it'll be over 3 pounds. By the time it's all said and done, let's see here. Excuse me. I can't. Oh, where's my weigh one ring to do the math for final weight? I already put my calculator back. Hang on, or my scale back. Calculator. 3 divided by 13 equals times 95 equals. All right, it should weigh 22 pounds or so by the time I'm done. Roughly. Rough guess. When you first picked it up, it looked heavy. It's not, I mean, it's not light, you know. If you were struck with it, it's not going to feel good. That's why I love it when people say, oh, that's not real chainmail. And you're just like, well, you think so? How's that feel? Does that feel real to you, buddy? Tell me it's not real. I will hit you with my chainmail purse. 22 pounds. That's actually... I don't know why I didn't think it would... Like, that's pretty heavy. But it's also 17,000 rings or so. 16,800 some odd. Whatever 176 times 95 is. Bob is my son. He's not even full grown yet. Started his growth spurt the other day. So my goal is get through these rings. I've got a large order of rings coming. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Use up these rings. I need to finish up my saddlebag because it was like a nice day outside. Not nice enough to go riding, but like good weather is coming. So the saddlebag needs to get done. Right? And I've got rings for the Finnegan's Wake flag coming. So I have a lot of work to do coming. Are your calculations about 77? What is 77 rings? What are we calculating here? No Good Gamer. How you doing? How are you tonight? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Are you calculating the number of rings in a 3x3 cube? All right, this cube right here. So, right now there's only 13 rings in it. To get it to a cube like this, but that is only 3 rows wide, right? So, see these rings poking up on the edge here? To get it that wide on each side, it's 95 rings. I promise. Your wallet hurts to think of the cost of that weight of rings. Yeah. I only did it because I have a tax return coming. And it's like, let me... Theoretically. I theoretically have a tax return coming. It'll be... it'll take a little bit. For some reason I couldn't use the TurboTax software to file it. I had to mail it in. So what hurt my wallet was the amount of money I paid TurboTax to fill it out. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy with TurboTax. So, and for anybody wondering who I'm talking to, I have TikTok over here, and I have Twitch, X, YouTube, and Facebook over here on my computer. One day when I have 10,000 followers on Twitch, it'll all be on the same screen, and I won't be like, what's over here? What's over here? What's over there? What's over, you know? So if you want to help me get to 10,000 followers, please follow along. You can also follow me on all of my other social media channels, and all under the name Mailworks. I know it sounds like a men's strip club like Hard Bodies, right? Mailworks. Mailworks. Oh, yeah. But we keep our clothes on here, and it's in reference to chainmail is known as mail, and works as in like I'm working to make chainmail. But for the right amount of money, I'll take my clothes off. I'm just kidding. Thank you for the share. Appreciate you. Thank you for the follow. We'll get there. I never thought I'd hit 7,000. And I just hit 7,000 earlier this week or earlier today. I'm not sure. So we're getting somewhere. Yeah. We're getting somewhere. What do I want to tell you guys about? Norse Forged is having... Do you guys follow him? He's a blacksmith here on TikTok doing a trillion layer Damascus piece. Right? So he is having an event in North Carolina. And I looked at the room on my credit card, and I was very tempted to max out my credit card, buy stock, and go down and be a vendor. But it's a 12-hour drive. and I probably know people in North Carolina that I could ship all of the stuff I needed to, but that would only give me like 7 weeks to get everything ready. And I don't know if I can get all the stock I would need in that amount of time. And I'm not talking like chainmail stuff made. I have some of that made, but I would go down and vend all my chainmail print items. So I was thinking about that, and I made the decision not to. I was like, oh, maybe if they have an event like that next year, I'll go or something. But I was disappointed. I made the right decision not to go, but also I'm not going, so no, I'm sad. It's one of those things that's it's right in my niche. You know, a big old group gathering of nerdy people. For someone in the space, right? Like, it's probably not the only thing I'm nerdy about, but it is, it's probably not the most, the chainmail is the largest thing I'm nerdy about, right? Most of the rest of the stuff I'm, like, I don't watch anime, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you, Justin, appreciate it. All I do is make chainmail. So there are lots of people who are way cooler than me, doing cool stuff in the nerd niche. But my niche still fits in with them, right? So it would have been cool to get to go down there. You like my shirt, Shrek and Donkey? I got this at what is it? Kohl's. I love the Shrek movies. They're some of my favorite movies. I saw the first one in Florida in 2003, 2004, sometime in there. Me and a friend, I think it was Florida. Me and a friend went to the theater because I couldn't go outside. We wanted to do something, but I couldn't go outside because I got down there and I had just gotten my hair cut and I was in the military and my hair was very short and I got a 2nd-degree burn on top of my head. And I'm like, I'm not bald, right? But I burned really bad. We were using the Novocaine spray on me. Good times. Good times. But yeah, what amazed me, thank you for the share, appreciate you, is that somehow, some way, I'd seen the first, second, and third Shrek, and I guess the fourth was like a straight-to-DVD release or something. I completely missed it for years. I don't know how long it was out before I stumbled across it, and it was like, holy crap. I'm a huge fan. Like, I have all of them on DVD, except for the fourth one. There's a Facebook group called the United Church of Shrek. Everybody signs off. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Bunch of little weirdos. But it's a fun group. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. So, if you like Shrek, you should check out that group. It's fun. If you're an adult. I don't think it's too adult themed, but it's not, I don't remember it as being for kids. It's been a hot minute since I perused through their page, so. Yeah. Would Shrek fall under anime as is animation, or due to the popularity it's okay? No, anime Okay, so I have been informed by the people in the know that animation or anime is specifically made in Japan. Someone ever asked me if I watch anime. I said I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix and Guyver from the early 90s, the late 80s. And that was like the only anime I ever watched. And they informed me that Avatar: The Last Airbender is not anime because it's made in America. And I said, okay. So I'm not in that niche, and it's not worth arguing about to me. Speaking of niches and arguments, right? So I read the Wheel of Time series my whole life, right? I waited decades for books to come out. All right. Every time a new book would come out, I would reread the entire series, right? Outside Japan and in English, anime refers specifically to animation produced in Japan. However, in Japan and Japanese anime, a term derived from a shortening of the English word animation, describe all animated works regardless of styles or origin. You're of the Japanese opinion it's all anime? Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone just had a stroke hearing me say that. Cinderella is anime. Anastasia is anime. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about it. But, okay, so I read Wheel of Time series over and over and over again. Then Robert Jordan dies, right? And he leaves a bunch of notes. And Brandon Sanderson is called in by the estate and asked to finish. Brandon Sanderson is a prolific writer, right? Which means that he writes a lot. I have tried to read Brandon Sanderson, a couple books by him. The Mistborn series or something. And this was before I read the last 3 Wheel of Time books, right? So I tried to read some Sanderson, and I wanted to gnaw my eyeballs out. I did not care for it. I don't particularly care for Sanderson as a person or his writing, right? So someone posted asking about the Wheel of Time series I love. Can I, Dylan, get a jelly cube? If you want a jelly cube, people to talk to are Astrid Wolf over on TikTok, or they're on TikTok, or Wayward and Whimsical, also known as Mother of Dragons. Go to my page and the 1.8 million viewed jelly cube page, or video, right? They're tagged in that video like 500 times. They take requests, and they are making jelly cubes and can get you hooked up with a cube. So someone had asked about, the Wheel of Time series and does it get better and blah, blah, blah. And I said it was good up until the last 3 when Brandon Sanderson ruined it. And that offended some people. Some people got big mad, right? But it's like, that's just my opinion. I personally think Sanderson ate the notes that Robert Jordan left and shit out the last 3 books, right? I don't like the way the series ended. I'm glad it ended, but it's there were elements of it that I didn't care for. There were storylines unfinished, blah blah blah, right? So anyway, it's something that that is my strong opinion, I guess. But some people were very upset about it. You saw me on here yesterday. Do I go live often? I try to go live multiple times a week. Try to go live multiple times a week because it is, on TikTok, it's the best way for me to get my face out there and show people what chainmail is and point them to my website, right? I'm terrible at making videos that do well, And so going live and, you know, waving my arms up and down saying, look at me, right? That's one of the reasons I'm on here. The main reason I'm on here is so that people can stumble across and go, oh, holy cow, that guy's making chainmail at home in his basement. I would love to make chainmail because I'm into that sort of thing. And then they come in and they ask, how do you do that? And I point them in the direction of the Mailworks app and different suppliers and kits over ordering a bunch of different rings and stuff. You have to ask, where did I get the armrest? Yeetus, how you doing? If you're not following Yeetus, you should give Yeetus a follow. He was streaming earlier today, and I was able to pop in there for a second. Does good work. All right. The armrests are as seen on TV armrests that they have this little adapter thing that you hook it up to your desk, and I had to add that piece of leather because the padding on there did not work, and then the padding on top was being worn away, and so I about the same time I got a new leather stamp for making chainmail patterns. And so I made the padding now. Do I have any tips for scale mail? Don't make it. Give up. No, I'm just kidding. Scale. If you're trying to design a pattern in scale mail, there is the website Scale Mail Designer. That I haven't added it to the Mailworks app yet, but I have talked to the owner of that website about adding them, and I've got a bunch of stuff to add to the app. If you're just, you know, how to put it together and everything, I mean, it's European Foreign One, using scales instead of rings. How can the process be made easier, but it's too expensive? How can the process be made easier? Well, you can turn any, you know, you can use any wire to make rings, and you can hand cut them or saw cut them at home. And so you can make your own rings from scrap found around your house, right? Got a coat hanger made from brass wire, wrap that around a mandrel and cut it with a saw or with a pair of nippers. Like these. Or like these. You're going to attempt to do Viper scale? Right on. What are my feelings on Bob? Bob is a grind. It really is. So, they're not the tiniest rings to work with, but they're very small. Okay? And it takes a lot of them to make something this large. So, I'm going to push forward and try and get it done this century. How do I get such a good grip on the rings? You generally can't. You keep dropping your rings. Thank you for the rose. All right. So these pliers have teeth. These are 16 gauge rings. For rings, these are 18 gauge rings. And these are two different wire gauge systems, right? So this is more like 20 gauge, right? And okay, this is more like 14. It's really, they made it. They say this. They are the experts on the subject. Yeah. Oh, the Japanese in anime. Yeah. So, for pliers that do not have teeth, right? that is a practice. And hand strength, which can only be... you can only get it by working on stuff. So, if you are having trouble holding your rings, you may have the wrong pliers. Right? Like, for example, I've got my Zeron 483s, right? I wouldn't use them on these 16 gauge rings unless it's a really tight spot. Okay? These with the small handles. These are like off-the-shelf Lowe's flat toothless pliers. Flathead toothless pliers. Right? These I have trouble holding rings with sometimes because they don't cover my pinky. I can't get that grip in there. And so it may be a plier handle length issue. Does that make sense? So, and then the rest of it's just practice. I'm not particularly gifted or anything, or I'm not doing anything special, right? You have jewelry pliers, you wire wrap rocks with pliers. Do you know what brand they are? 5, 6, 7, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This will be 19. Thank you for the dyno. I appreciate it. So if you have like jewelry pliers from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or some tiny, small... don't do that. Like small needle nose like that have no handles and no, you can't grip them, you can't hold on to them, right? That it may be really tough to work any ring size with those. Your special hypermobility can make it hard to hold things in general. Yeah. So hand strength. It's just developed by opening and closing rings. Or you can get hander bands. These are hand workouts to help avoid carpal tunnel and strengthen your hand. So that is an option. They've helped me avoid carpal tunnel. All right. A shorter nose generally means better leverage. I have a lot more control using these right here than, say, these ones, right? The nose on these is very narrow and short, or very narrow and long, and this is pretty wide and short. So I think that Lorian is correct. That's a good thing to note. Was that 19? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 20, 21, 22. I hope they help. I hope that, right? Finding the right pliers is going to be like the biggest thing. And these are not the right pliers necessarily, right? These are some old pliers that my grandpa gave me when I first started making chainmail, and I used them for like 16 gauge, 14 gauge, 12 gauge, and so on. But they make other pliers that are, excuse me, they make other pliers that are better than what I'm using. I'm just haven't got new pliers because I really don't see the need for me to do so yet. Soon, though. What are... Okay, so Zurons are wonderful. Everybody loves Zurons. Wubbers. These are Wubbers. Right? Can I get the logo to show? No. Is that even the logo? No. Yeah, it was. You can't see it. Oh, there it is. Those are Wubbers. Right? What are... Oh, I can never remember the names of this one. It's like... It's not linemen's. There are linemen's pliers, but... Shoot. I'd have to look it up. There are other... If you join any of the chainmail groups, right? Or if you download the Mailworks app, join some of the chainmail groups that are in there, and search pliers, plier recommendations. There's all kinds of threads on it. People talking about different things. And I'm sure that you're not the only one with hypermobility or any type of condition issues. And so if you go searching in those groups, you'll probably find a solution. Or better suggestions than what I can provide. Lindstrom's. Thank you, John. Lindstrom pliers. That is another popular plier brand among chainmail artists. You're very welcome. I've never worked with them, but I know a lot of people like to use them. All right. All right. That's just my elbow. So, who else makes chainmail? We had Yeetus in here. John's over here. A rat. Making some chainmail. Here. You've seen folks use wubbers and rubber rings to make more like scissor handles with a loop for the finger versus the straight handle design. They add a rubber ring. Okay. Oh my gosh, my son is screaming. Every night. Every night. You're a noob. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Just remember that as a noob, there's no wrong way to make chainmail. And if anybody tells you that there is, give them the finger. One thing I can't stand is gatekeeping. And the chainmail community is chock full of lovely people, but sometimes, as with every group of people, you get those that their ego is too big for you to be around them online. So just know that those people exist and don't let them discourage you from making chainmail however you see fit. The more you learn, the better you'll get. You know, and then why is that crooked? Why are you the way you are? Come on. There it is. There it goes. There. Got it. Got it. Emergency avoided, people. That's great advice, yeah. And it goes for every group on the internet. I've ran into them everywhere. Just insufferable know-it-alls that want to win internet points rather than be helpful. And don't get me wrong, I can be a dick too sometimes, but this is my niche. I'm here to promote chainmail to the masses, right? I want everybody to love chainmail as much as I do, and then go to my store and buy stuff. That's what I want. And also to introduce people to chainmail. Did I say that? Alright, come on. There we go. No? I'll figure it out. Okay. There's a... Like, I try to keep a policy of there's nothing that you can't ask me about. Right? I'll tell you everything I know. Which isn't a lot, but you're more than welcome to it. Yeetus, what did you just send? What is that? Thank you. Thank you for it. I don't know. Oh, a finger heart. A finger heart. Okay. That's what that is. All right. Yeah. I can't tell what it is. It doesn't look like a finger heart, I'll tell you that much. But thank you. So, yeah. I am but a disciple in the Church of Chainmail, here to spread the good message and bring newcomers into the chain gang. Just a humble, pious ring bender. For the greater good, yeah. Is that a Helldivers reference? Spread democracy for the greater good. When Malevolon Creek was going on, I was very tempted to download and start playing. And then I realized that I would quickly lose about 6 weeks of life, maybe more, to playing it. The last game I got, I played for 3 months straight. Oh, from Hot Fuzz. That's an even better reference. Yeah, the last game I got, I played for 3 months straight, and then I should close this ring. You'd think I'd know how to close a ring by now. And I got nothing done because I was playing Tears of the Kingdom 12 hours a day. Speaking of Hot Fuzz, what is what is his name? The redhead. God, Sean. That's gonna bother me. Hang on. Simon Pegg. Okay? So here's a fun thing to do. If you would like a fun evening, go and watch all of Simon Pegg's stuff. Hot Fuzz. What do you call it? Now I can't name anything else he's been in. Shaun of the Dead. That's why I thought his name was Sean. There's one where he plays a psychologist or something, or a psychiatrist, and then he like goes on a vacation and goes out to see the world. That was a really good one. Lots of fun stuff in that one. But God, what else? There's a couple other movies. I got some ink on my shirt. Probably food. I seem like a very cool person. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, go watch all of Simon Pegg's stuff in one night. It's all good, right? Even the Star Trek stuff. Oh, from Shaun of the Dead. See, it's been a hot minute since I've seen those. Any of it. But I did sit down one night and just watch a ton of Simon Pegg stuff. That sounded... Gotta be careful how you say that. You got some ink on your shirt. Go down to the Winchester, have a pint until this whole thing blows over. 3 more cubes to make, then you think you will yeet the rest of these cursed 22 gauge brass rings. They are so fiddly. Yeesh. Yeah, I don't want to work in much 22 gauge. I need a nicer magnifying glass for my head. Where's mine? These work. They're not bad. But, yeah. I mean, they work, but they're not very comfortable. Alrighty. Okay. Where were we? Someone said I was a cool person. That makes my night. Nicest thing anyone said to me all day. All week. Where's the rest of your guys' compliments? None of you ever say nice things to me. I'm just kidding. Do I actually like those? No, but they work. If I need them. They do work. You can't do that too close to the work and you felt like you were going to slip and stab yourself in the face with your hemostat pliers. Yeah, the digital one links to your PC and you can view it on the 72-inch monitor. There you go. Digital magnifying lenses so you don't have to stab yourself in the face because your magnifying lenses suck. Hey, now I gave you a shout out. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm just kidding. All right. So first you make the full Persian portion, then you make the box portion on the outside, and then we will have made a ring. No, I do appreciate anyone that just comes and hangs out. You know? You guys have lives and you're choosing to spend it chilling with me. Cool. So I'm grateful for anyone that stops by. Where was I? What ring size did I use for the tiny dice bag? Talking about the titanium one that I was showing? Eh. This one? With the elf weave strips. Is that the one we're talking about? That is 20 gauge 1/8 European 4-in-1 with strips of elf weave. You spent the day mailing at your shop, and now you're watching you because you have lost motivation to do it yourself. Hi, Patience. Thanks for stopping by. I spent the day mailing, too. Working on this behemoth of a project that I never should have gotten started on, and I shouldn't have put any money towards. And I should have just thrown all of these rings away. But in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess. You've been trying to make one out of 16 gauge, 3.5 millimeter. I don't know what size that is. What is that in American? How much is 3.5 millimeters? It's not. Wow. That's really. Can you even do European foreign one with rings that size? Are we talking 16 gauge standard wire gauge or American wire gauge? I guess that would make all the difference in the world. I'm going to assume standard wire gauge, and 3.5 millimeters would be what? 5/32? I need a conversion chart. Someone has a conversion chart out there somewhere. I need it, and I'm going to print it out. Or I need to make one. Sixteen gauge, 7/32. Okay. I was 2 30-seconds off. Okay, so 16 gauge, 7/32. If it was 6 30-seconds, it'd be 3/16. Okay. That will make European foreign one. It'd be. For some reason I was thinking it was smaller than 16 gauge 3/16. And so you can't make European foreign one with 16 gauge 5/32. And you can make Trinity, which is the equivalent of European 3-in-1, if there were such a thing, but there's not. It's called Trinity. There actually might be another weave called European 3-in-1, but I don't like it. You can do 4-in-1. You made some earrings? Okay. If you can do 4-in-1, you can, make a dice bag. I was going to ask, Patience, what were you mailing? What were you making while you were mailing earlier today? What you working on? That goes for anyone. What are you guys working on? Are you chilling watching me working on a project? Or do you, just think I'm so handsome you can't tear your eyes away? Someone already told me I was cool. I'm fishing for an you're pretty compliment. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if anybody's working on something right now, what you working on? Where are you from? What you working on? Just trying to figure out the count. Yeah. It's okay. Prep work's one of those things that I'm terrible at, right? When I was younger, I worked at a shop where I did a tiny amount of working on cars and painting them. And it was like a resto mod shop. And I wasn't there very long, as I joined the army and left the town of my birth. And what I gathered from there is that prep work was not something I was built for. And so in order to prep a car for paint, it's a long, arduous process, and I hated the one time I did it, right? So that turned me off to doing prep work for anything, but the reality is that prep work would have saved me a lot of time on a lot of my projects. And so that was a hard lesson to learn. The consequence of which has been I have wasted a lot of time making up for the fact that I was not prepared for the projects that I took on. Right? You're going through your bag of scales? Right on. You thought about making a sheet, then stitch it up and to make the bottom? You can do that. Enjoying the time with the sanity on the shelf and the pliers and hands weaving distractions in good old New Hampshire, loving the snow. There you go. Double spiral necklaces and trying to finish your son's Cantab armor shirt. Right on. Adding to your store, stocking for a 2-day Ren Fair and 2-day art festival. They're in Norwich, New York. Right on. That's cool. At the beginning of the stream, I was talking about a 2-day event going on in North Carolina that is too far away for me to attend, but it's like just the right niche for... Right now, I'm watching you taking a break from mailing a dragon and various pieces for your first vendoring. You're in Ontario, Canada. Right on. How you doing, Jan? Isn't Ontario like just north of me? I'm in Wisconsin. Where's Ontario? Canada. Oh, you're northeast of me. Yes, I want the map. Hang on. No, Ontario's directly north. Okay. You're good. You're loving the live stream. Right on. Well, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. My leg is numb. Mailing a dragon. I've never made a chainmail dragon. I have plans for something. I'm going to try one soon in the future. An owl. I'm going to start with the owl. You're in southern Ontario above New York? Okay, right on. I have been to Victoria, Canada, and I visited the, what is it, the Edinburgh Castle? That's not right. The something. I got a picture of it. It's on my wall over around the corner. Chris Pratt joined. Someone named Chris Pratt. Like the Guardian of the Galaxy. Their name just popped up at the bottom there. Hey, Capturing Essence. OMGY. See, Chris Pratt commented. Rotten Pieces. I know I got a dragon plan. Just got to figure out what colors you want. Think about stainless steel rings and blurple scales. That would be awesome. What are we OMGYing to? This little thing? This? Just this? Is that what we're OMGing? We're not going to make it very big. I've got 13 rings done. I only need 82 more. I should have left it. How many rings does a 2x2 cube have? I think it's 21. I'd have to go back and look at the calculator. And a 3x3 cube has 95. And a 4x4 cube has 259 or something. But I really like 5x5 cubes. And there's 540 some odd rings in a 5x5. Alright. You can't get the legs to be right and your dragon looks like a gecko. Alright, what is this? Okay, so this is a jelly cube, right? And this is Ringception. When you use your rings to make rings, right, and then weave them together in a weave. This is brass and bronze, and it kind of looks like a turd on screen, but it's a weave, right? And this is a Ringception jelly cube. And I've done 13 rings, and I'm going to make 82 more. And I ordered the rings to finish this. And yeah. Should be 95 rings, should get me there. Only 82 left to go. Yeah, only 82 more, because, you know, I needed another project that was really large and time-consuming right in the middle of me trying to finish all my large, time-consuming projects that have been sitting around for 2 decades. It'll be badass when it's done. I hope so, and I'm hoping that the ring size is correct. Like, it seems kind of correct, right? Like, none of the rings can pass each other in here right now, so if I build it out, it should have kind of a jelly feel to it. If this doesn't work, I'll take it all apart, I'll shorten it by 1 ring, and then put it all back together, which I really don't want to do, so I'm hoping that I did it right the first time. But yeah, that's jelly cubes mystify you? Ooh, you are being mystified. You will fall under the spell of the jelly cube, and now you will have to make 1,000 of them because the world needs more jelly cubes. And large ones. They are little mesmerizing. They're fun. It's like non-Newtonian fluids, right? It's like, wait, why is it acting that way? Procrastination. I love that. Oh, and the rings that I ordered to finish this, the Ring Lord didn't have these rings in stock, right? But also the rings, or they had 4 bags in stock, right? That wasn't enough. And the rings that they had were 10 millimeters in diameter. But I saw that they had some rings in spring steel that were 10.6 millimeters in diameter, and these are really old TRL rings before they trued up their ring sizes back in, I think it was 2016, from what I'm hearing. So not only do I get to make 82 more rings for this, but they're all in spring steel, and I'm not looking forward to it. From my experience in viewing the links, you have a great ratio for a jelly cube, though. This link will be different with wiggly rings, yeah. You really want to make one because it's awesome, but your brain hurt as to what it would take as far as time and frustration. Nope, I get it. They are time consuming. The 4th jelly cube becomes easier than the first. Oh, yeah. Yeah, once you've made, you know, a dozen jelly cubes, it's old hat. So yeah, why did I decide to do this? Yeah, I don't know. Is it a good idea? No. What this is like, yes, I want to get through all of the projects in my basement. I want to finish those up and, you know, set myself up so that I can take on custom work and make my own lines of jewelry and armor and all that fun stuff. But what this is this is practice, right? Because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be making in the future are going to be large chainmail sculptures out of high-end materials. I'm not in the vending business. I don't want to vend chainmail necessarily, right? If I go set up a booth somewhere with all of my print products, I'll take my chainmail with me. It's all the same niche. But I want to sell print stuff. So I don't want to be scrambling like all these chainmail artists who hustle and bustle all week long, and props to them for getting it done, because I couldn't do it. So I'm going to focus on multi-thousand ring projects out of high-end materials that are either welded or riveted or anodized or something. And then I want to shoot for a gallery exhibition. One day, right? I don't want to sell. Okay, let me put it like this. I don't want to sell 5,000 pieces for $50,000 a year, right? Let's say someone does that. They sell 5,000 pieces throughout the year. They make 50 grand, right? I want to make one piece. It might take me all year long, but it'll be huge and it'll sell for 50 grand. And I don't even necessarily want to sell this stuff, but I do want to make it. It's hard. It's really hard when I've had offers on this in the price range that I want. This is not done, right? I want to take this out to 20 rows, which is tripling the number of rings that are in here already, from 14,000 to over 44,000, right? I've had offers on this for anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 as it is right now. And I can't give that up, personally. Maybe one day, but not right now. So I'm going to spend a lot of time making some really cool stuff, and then hopefully I'll sell it. This is a hobby for you. You're only vending because it's a charity event. You usually just make gifts for friends and family. Right on. There isn't a wrong way to do it. Right? That's one of the things too, right? Like, if it's a hobby and you love doing it, don't let people talk you into turning it into a business. Right? Make whatever you want. You want to try and sell your stuff, or you want to do custom work for people, by all means. Nothing's stopping you. But also, know that just because you made something and someone goes, hey, you could sell that for $10 at the flea market when it's got 700 hours in it and, cost you $50 billion. You don't have to sell stuff. It can just be a hobby, right? So if you want to just have it as a hobby and sell stuff just to sustain the hobby, nothing wrong with that. You don't truly like vending, but your store is in a small town with too much overhead. Our downtown is struggling, so you have to hustle anywhere. Yeah. John says, I'm like Sean, hang out in your basement and just make what you love and enjoy selling and chasing sales. Selling and chasing sales killed your love of the art. Glad your kids have given you the time to remember the fun of just making what you love. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I turn down requests all of the time. I'll take a commission every now and then. Right? But usually it's no, I got too much on my plate right now. Also, I'm not in a position really to take custom requests for all of the variety of stuff that's out there that people ask. And so I try to point people towards the appropriate chainmail artist who does take requests and does vend and does enjoy doing all that stuff, and that's how they make their living, and you know. So what I'm doing right now is cleaning up a mess. And occasionally I'll take a project off of it, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I have been doing for the last 6 months. And I've gotten a lot of it done, right? But there are other people, other artists. That's why there's an artist section on the Mailworks app, right? It's just like, go and check out some of them if you want something custom made. Oh, excuse me. One day I will be in a position to take custom requests. But even then, right? Even once I have my anodizer, my rivet setup, my riveting station set up, my riveting process established, even when I have the coil and cutting station set up, right? Even when I have all of that, okay? There's still going to be stuff that I'm going to be like, nah, you should go check out this artist over here, because they either do it better, they take those kinds of requests. Like, I'll always point 99% of people towards Wayward and Whimsical for dragons, because she's outclassed everyone else on dragons, right? She makes the best, as far as I am aware. And she probably has a bunch available already for sale. I don't know. But it's like, I'm not going to take a request like that because I've never done it. And even when I'm all set up and taking requests routinely, I'm still just going to be like, yeah, go see that person. Or go see them. Now, do you want a ridiculously large Ringception jelly cube? Hey, I'm your guy. Okay. Let's get this hooked up. That looks so good. Oh, someone remind me why I wanted this. Why did I do this to myself? I'm hoping it gets rigid enough to hold a cube shape. That's all I want. I don't want to take it apart and close each, or shorten each ring by 1 unit. I want it to work, but we'll see. We will just have to make it. I've got enough of these rings in the coffee can here to make this a 2x2 cube, right? But that's about all I have. And then whenever my order comes in, we'll start working on the other 80 some odd rings. Nice SpongeBob shirt. Okay. SpongeBob at Bikini Bottom in the nuclear testing site. Or Bikini Bottom. Did I say Bikini Bottom? Not a show I grew up with. That and Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know anything about any of them until I was an adult. Or Nickelodeon. I didn't have Nickelodeon growing up. And if you're sitting there like, holy cow, what barren patch of wasteland did you grow up in? Boise, Idaho. If it's too sloppy, you would try to stuff marbles into the design. Maybe. You got like a fucking... It would take a big ass marble, dude. Might work though. Better than Ohio. You are not wrong. Is that where you're from? If anyone here is from Ohio, let me tell you what I know about Ohio, okay? Drew Carey doesn't know shit. No, I'm just kidding. My neighbors are from Ohio, and they're wonderful people. However, I had some soldiers on my second deployment from Ohio, and these were grown men who functioned like toddlers. They couldn't keep themselves washed. They couldn't keep their rooms clean. They couldn't get to work on time. And these are medical professionals. And oh my gosh, they were from Ohio. No one I met in the military from Ohio like gave me good vibes. I'll just say that. I have driven through Ohio. I think I stayed the night there once, and that's all I know. There is there's like a 2 mile long wooden roller coaster in Ohio. Like, it's like one's called Monster, and then the next one was called Son of the Monster or something. I don't know. I've never been. I've only ever heard stories. All right. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. It's coming along. It's going to be something when it grows up. Lol, you thought good hygiene was a requirement for the military? It's requirement in the military and requirement in the medical profession where they were working. We were inside of a hospital, right? And it's like, holy crap, when's the last time you washed you or your clothes or anything? And they didn't want to do it, and it's too hot. And oh. Nah, just feet hygiene. Feet hygiene is very important. Is that a chainmail made of chainmail? Yes, it is. Okay, Hollow the Wise Wolf. So this is a jelly cube, right? It's a very fun fidget toy, right? This, I'm going to use this. This example of Ringception looks like a turd because it's brass and bronze. But this is Ringception. It's when you use rings to make rings, and then you weave them together. It's very meta, right? And this is the start of a what will be a 3x3 layer jelly cube, 3x3 row jelly cube. So I've got 14 now rings done, and I've got to make 81 more. You got your first little bit of scale mail done? Right on. Right on. Yeah, scale mail is one of those things that just... I've tried it. It makes cool stuff. I don't like to do it. I'm frigging awesome. Well, thank you. That's 2 compliments tonight. Count them, guys. 2. 2 people. One told me I was cool. One told me I was awesome. It never happens to me. No, thank you, for real. There. How's that? You did tell me nice SpongeBob shirt. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I really do have to stop showing this brass and bronze piece that I was just trying to use up rings on, because it does. I've got a piece of round mail made of brass and bronze rings, and it just looks like a dog turd. That's not what I started out trying to make, and I made it forever ago, and it was probably one of my first chainmail sculptures. Expect more compliments. Right on. Thank you so much. How much for this? Not for sale, but if I were to sell something like this, it would go somewhere between $2,500 and $3,500. For Ringception. Yeah. And then this larger cube thing that I'm making, I don't know. It's going to take me 100 hours, and it's going to be 17,000 rings, and it's not going to be for sale either. Oh, Hollow the Wise Wolf. If you are, like, if you want a jelly cube, the people to talk to are Wayward and Whimsical, also goes by Mother of Dragons on TikTok, and then Astrid Wolf also makes them and has like some for sale. So, and these are bright aluminum rings, and they have anodized aluminum rings, so they have rings with color. I hope that helps. All right. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Where am I at here? What am I doing? All right, so thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Talk to Astrid. For obvious reasons. Yeah. Astrid's great. She does good work. She's been making chainmail for 12 to 14 years. Something like that. It's like, nobody gives a crap if I personally endorse someone, right? But you can't do better than Astrid. It's just, it just is. She's good. How many rings in this cube? 14,000. This one, 14. It'll have 82 by the time I'm done. By the time I'm done with this one, there will be 44,000 rings in it. Excuse me. All right, where are we at? Somewhere. Okay. All right. Hi, Viet Cong number 2. Charlie is in the trees. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I close this up correctly and get all these rings in here. Astrid is a sweetheart, absolutely. And they're not the only ones who make chainmail, right? There's a lot of people on every platform who make it. Those are just the two that I could think of when I had a cube. This cube video was going viral, and people were like, "Oh, how much can I buy one?" Over and over and over again. I probably got 100 some odd requests, and so I just kept tagging those two because I knew that they could handle that kind of work. So I don't know if anybody ever reached out to him for a cube, but I assume so. I don't know. I never asked them. All I did was harass them, basically. I hope they made some money off of it, but all right. I was missing a ring there. Yeah, once these spring steel rings get in, closing these is going to be very interesting. All right, is that all that I needed? Look at that. Okay. So if we were just making a 2x2 layer cube, we would only have like 7 rings to go. I think they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But since we're doing 14, okay, we've got, or since we're doing a 3x3, we've got 78? No, 81. 81 rings left to go. Ta-da! Where would the best jelly cube tutorial, paid or free? The only one that I know of is in the files section of the large chainmail group on Facebook. That's the only one I know of. And to find it, you got to go to the files section, but you could probably also just search jelly cube on Google, jelly cube tutorial on Google. You might be able to find it there. Am I making a giant jelly cube? Yes, I am. Started. It's 2x2 right now. We're going to make it a 3x3. How are you, Marshall Pike? And we've only got 81 more rings to make. And we've ordered all the rings for it. This project is, it's a go. If I survive. All right. So. All right. For anyone watching and is like, wow, that's cool. He makes it in his home. I wish I knew how to make chainmail. You too can be like me and waste your time making cool stuff like this. All you got to do is go to my Linktree and download the Mailworks app. Inside the Mailworks app is all the resources I would have wanted when I first got started making chainmail. The app is free. There is a link to my store in there where I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. Right? So please consider going and purchasing something from my store because that helps me continue to do what I do. Right? And someone notified me that there are a lot of permissions when you download the app, and that is to protect me and to protect you. All of your data is held secure by Amazon, Cloudflare, Google, and Apple, right? So it's just like any other app. What happened was I just wasn't navigating, uploading my app to Google and Apple to avoid all of the permissions. Google and Apple are terrible companies on the back end, and they're more difficult to work with than any other thing I've tried to do. And I am a nurse and have worked in the medical field for the past 20 years. So Google and Apple are worse than the worst patient I've ever had in my life. Let me put it that way. The permissions are there for all of us to just stay protected legally, and that's all. I wouldn't know how to sell your data if I tried. So don't worry about that. Download the app if you want to learn. If you want to get all the resources that I would have liked to have 20 years ago. If you want to continue to see me doing this, please go to my website, mailworks.com. This product isn't up yet. It's a puppy hoodie. It's got an area for a leash, right there, and a little pocket, right? Little pocket, right? Very cute. I gotta fix the edges on this, and then I'll get it up in the store here pretty soon. But super fun, super adorable, and tons of other stuff. As a software developer, you agree? Yeah, terrible company, terrible people, don't like anything about them on the back end. Yes, I am an RN. I know I don't look it. I haven't been practicing in the last 2 years, so I do this full time now. But I worked as a nurse at the bedside in ICUs and ERs and burn units and cancer units on hematology oncology. I've worked on two different countries on 2 different continents. I don't look it, but I are one. So please go to my website, buy something nice, get yourself something nice. That helps me continue to do this. Can you show us how to make that rope, please? This is called Sandworm, and it's on the Male Artisans International League website. If you type in B8FP, and all it is full Persian with box chain around it. And you got to use the right ring size. So, but I can't show you tonight. It's 10 o'clock here. I've got to get going. Got some stuff I got to do. Make sure my kid is alive. So, if you want to learn more about chainmail, go download the MailWorks app. If you want to support me in doing this, all this fun stuff, go to my store, buy something. I do appreciate it. I am usually on here 8:30 to 10, multiple times a week. Not every day, but multiple. Usually 4 out of 7. I try to hit at least that much. So, thank you all for hanging out. I do appreciate you being here. I have enjoyed our time together, but I do have to go. So, come check out progress on projects, and come hang out with me. I would love to see you all again. And I'll be back on later, guys. You all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you later. Bye. All right, and for everyone on Facebook, Twitch, X, and YouTube, you all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you later. Thanks for streaming. Have a good night. You too, random citizen. No, I'm just kidding. Have a good night.